Alright, back on the TechnoBabble. It's been a little bit. Today, this video was actually recorded and stuff quite a while back. Just now finally getting around to doing some voiceovers and stuff. It's incredibly hot here during the summer. I'm not lying about it. I have to run fans and stuff all the time to try to keep the house cool, and it's pretty horrible. So it's hard to find days where it's cool enough to turn all the fans and stuff off. Anyway, today we've got the Brawler 64. Is that cheesy enough? Too cheesy? I don't know. Anyway, it's a controller that I've had sort of on a wish list, I guess, for a long time, because the Nintendo 64 weird pitchfork boomerang looking thing was never my favorite controller. I don't think it was ever anybody's favorite controller. So, managed to get my hands on a Brawler 64. I went for the wireless just to really try to bring it up as modern as possible. And my first impressions on this controller, it's incredibly light. Way lighter than I would have anticipated it being, and it's quite small, which is fine. It's not a weird pitchfork 3-prong boomerang thing, and the button layout makes much more sense. And it's neat in that the memory card actually goes into the wireless adapter controller port thing. Technical terms there from TechnoBabble. Yeah, the buttons and stuff feel alright. Very lightweight. The joystick feels pretty good. Definitely will wind up cracking the controller open to check it out. The memory card controller port unit is pretty cool. I definitely think that's a very cool aspect of it. And there's a bunch of other stuff in a little booklet. D-pad's okay. Start button. And you don't have to have proprietary screwdrivers to take this thing apart, which is what we're going to do now. Well, yeah. Take it apart. It's hot in here because there's no fans on right now. Don't worry, I'll time-lapse as much of it as I can. I don't want the video to drag on too long. I know a lot of my TechnoBabble videos actually wind up a lot longer than I anticipate them to, but that's because I don't want to cut anything out. I want all the details and information to be there, at least visually. I know that I'm not the best at communicating things verbally, or the most educated as far as technology stuff goes. Which is kind of contradictory to the name TechnoBabble, but whatever, it's nerd stuff, and that was the real point. Nerdy video game stuff. See what we got in here. This controller feels incredibly light, and they have a nice weight bar across the back side of the PCB motherboard there. Little sort of weighted metal thing they've put across the back. A tiny battery pack. That's probably, hopefully, something that you, in the future, once the battery does get degraded and everything, replace it for a bigger one. Probably will be a video if I ever get a, if I ever use the controller enough for the battery to fully degrade like that. I don't have that many games on Nintendo 64. I just thought this would be a cool controller to check out and try and everything. Little fiddly to try to get it apart. Right there. pretty simple. It's not an awful lot going on. I don't know that I care for the two white sort of ribbon connectors that run to the back. They seem incredibly fragile. And the D-pad is its own separate PCB motherboard thing. Which is pretty neat. I guess it means if it went bad, you could replace the D-pad pretty easily, assuming you could buy that part. Not something I've had to look into yet, just because this controller is incredibly new to me. The D-pad's not got a great pivot point on it. It's not bad, but it's not great. Other than that, it's pretty basic stuff, really. Nothing overly crazy. It's, like I said, it's an incredibly light controller. They've added some weight to it to try to make it feel better. The plastic and stuff seems fine. I mean, I don't know how most people are, but I'm not going to be throwing the thing up against the wall. So I don't really intend to test its structural rigidity, or how tough it really is as far as that goes. So I'm going to take care of it and be very delicate with it for forever and always, as I do with most of my controllers. Especially this one, because it's a sort of one-off by a third-party company. It was not a one-off, but it is manufactured by a third-party company, so I don't know how easy it would be to buy replacement parts to repair anything that's in this controller. Although I would hope that getting a bigger battery might be something easy enough to look into. Those cables right there, those wires, ugh. Especially since they like folded up over top of where the thread posts are for the screws. It's not, it doesn't fill you with confidence for how well made this actually is, which is strange, because I've heard really good things about these controllers and videos and stuff that I have watched. And I don't think anyone had ever mentioned just how light this controller is. I need to get one of them little scales to be able to weigh stuff. That would be a good investment for this channel, especially as far as controller reviews and stuff goes. Little fiddly getting the bumper buttons back in there. Like I say, I don't want to cut any of the stuff out, because this is what, you know, you learn from other people's mistakes as much as you can learn from your own. And yeah, those were a bit of a pain to get back together. So let's test this thing out. Memory card goes in pretty well. Pretty easy, especially since I've got the little memory card. Get some gameplay going. The World Is Not Enough, one of my favorite games that of the few I ever had on the Nintendo 64. I'm looking at the little booklet here because I didn't actually read it, and pairing is kind of strange. So the instruction booklet came in pretty good handy here just to figure out how to pair the thing. I think I wound up having to plug it up because the battery was just dead out of the box. Again, I am doing this voiceover quite some time after recording the video, which I apologize for. Life happens. I don't think I need to explain it any more than that. Anyway, controller's working. Yay! Start game. I believe this controller, if I'm not mistaken, has about the same issue as putting a new joystick in an old Nintendo 64 controller, in that the joystick is quite, how to say it, it's vastly more sensitive than the Nintendo 64 joystick was ever really meant to be. So it kind of takes a second for you to kind of pick up on it and see how it feels and everything, and you know, like click with it and its sensitivity. But it feels and is way more ergonomic and comfortable than a Nintendo 64 controller, which I guess is the real point for why this exists. Very sensitive, very twitchy. And at first that will feel kind of rough, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad. Do a little time lapse here. I played through the entire level here. It's actually the second level in the game. So overall, it feels pretty good from what I can remember of it. I don't remember hating it. I don't remember being like, this is the worst controller that anyone has ever made, ever, and it's terrible, and you should never buy one. I remember thinking, oh, this is pretty neat. It's not, you know, the smoothest thing or the easiest thing to get used to. If you don't like super sensitive controllers, I don't know that I could recommend it. And it is very lightweight, so I don't know how sturdy it would be giving an impact or a drop or a throw or a fall or anything like that. But other than that, it is functional. And again, the main point in purchasing a controller like this would be ergonomics and being wireless, because wireless is cool. Especially going back to like a retro console like the Nintendo 64, being wireless is very cool. So yeah, overall, pretty cool controller, pretty cool concept. I like it. And that's it. This has been About How's Demise on TechnoBabble. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope to catch you in the next one. Remember to be safe and be good. And yeah, check out some other controller stuff and some TechnoBabble stuff. And maybe if you're interested in gameplay and weird bad memes and or art and stuff like that, check out my other channels. Links in the description. So, again, remember to be safe, be good. Hope to catch you in the next one.